there, and this is some really high energy. So for those of you who kind of know my private mobile number or know my Facebook private page, could you just say yes that you could hear me? I tell you, whoo, I am literally hot. And Akhenaten decided to put some more of himself in me from last week, and I'm roasting. I just don't get a response that my mic is working, but I believe that it is. And we're going to get started with a very interesting show as soon as I find out that people can hear me. Yes, this is, really strong vibe today. Energy has been kicking in strong from all over, and I mean strong. So, okay, so we're on right now. Yeah, my volume is coming up. Took a few seconds. Let me just turn it up loud on my end and make sure my headset and everything is in place. All right. We're going to do this show today with we're actually with two pieces in it. I think these are the two things that Akhenaten would love to know. And this is very unique. I was thinking of broadcasting a part of this live on Facebook, but I think that would be just way too much energy and way too much focusing to do all at one time because I would have to do it live through my phone and watch that as well as pop back over here. So I think I'll just leave it alone and stick to one format. It would be different if I had something like iPad or something like that. Okay, those of you who are hearing it low, I don't know why you're hearing it low. Maybe if you could, on your end, pull your volume up louder. Maybe what I'll do is kick my volume up past 50%. And so I think a lot of it is coming low is I've got so much chi flowing through me right now. Yeah, it's blasting like from green to caution yellow to red. So I'm not supposed to be. I'm gonna bring it down to like I guess a little above 50%. I'm gonna talk louder. Hopefully that does it. What we're going to do today is he's want me to present two type of exercises which are necessary right now, and one is going to be um, how to scan and read auras, and the other one is going to deal with how to contact um, guides or spirit guides, and this is essential so that you could like literally flow with this energy all at the same time. And as you do this, this will be um, you'll be able to do this. See what happens on my end. I get a delayed reaction. I'm like literally. It's usually supposed to be 3 seconds behind. But what's happening is I'm like getting delayed. Things that I'm saying are coming across like in my headset, uh, 5 to 10 seconds, and I'm really not supposed to hear myself in my headset. So, woo! I tell you, Akhenaten is something else. I'm into teaching. Have been asked to teach channeling classes, private channeling classes, and I've taught one, two, three already, and then I taught a fourth class with new people, and it was very interesting as the information itself just flashed right out to something totally different, and it's an amazing thing because it's, that's just how powerful that the energy is coming across. I mean, it came across so strong, you could actually hear, which I feel was Akhenaten's voice coming through into an English form right on top of my voice, and it was very booming. So, for people who are close to me in my um, circle of people here, as well as other locations, I'm going to take that session that I had from this past Monday or Tuesday, and I'm gonna flip it into a MP3 file. But I have to make several copies because I think that if I want to share it, I gotta ask his permission, of course. And also, once I do that, hopefully you'll hear the interesting ranges of the tones of my voice. Went from my natural tone to super super bass tones, which I know was his voice coming through on top of mine. So it was a very interesting experience. So what he's having me do today is actually bring forth a little bit of that exercise as well as the second one. So first we're going to set uh, things in motion with a brief prayer through divine power and by divine grace to all of you who get this opportunity to witness this show live as well as later in the archives. May you be blessed by all that you are about to receive. I'm going to interject his name, for Akhenaten says that all shall be well. Continue to focus your inner power, your divine light, your divine presence on all that is positive, because that is needed and desired throughout not only your world, quote unquote, your world, but also in other worlds. We await your rising to higher consciousness, higher awareness, higher remembrances, and deeper awarenesses. This is a good time to not only see yourself practicing your quote unquote rituals, but actually live them. All of nature where you are at is relying on you, depending on you to communicate with it so that you can raise your vibration even higher. And that was a message from him because my whole body is hot. And I know when I'm in touch with spirit, with my guides, with angels, with my ancestors, my whole energy field really ramps up. So shall it be, and so it is. We're going to get started with this show. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is basically how to scan and read auras first, because that one is a little bit more difficult to do. And then I'll step into the second one, which is a lot easier. But it'll be even easier because we're going to give you a compact version of it tonight. And this is going to really flow. So, part one is going to be how to see, read, or see, scan. Or I should say scan, see, and then read an aura. Because see also means to sense an auric field. I'd like to type it in, but I'm not going to get a chance to type in that information. So just bear with me. I mean, the energy is so intense. Many times my side of the screen is flashing in and out. Hopefully, your side of the screen isn't doing that. So, what I'm going to do is, you got to turn and face you. If you'd like to have crystals around you, please do. If you like to have just regular stones around you, please do. If you like to have water with gemstones in it, please do. If you want to light incense and have that around you, do that. If you want to have candles around you, do that. Whatever works with you, rock it, okay? If you got crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, if you want to ring it now, I suggest you do that now. That will help you become more centered for what we are about to do right now. One of the things you want to do in your mind is, no matter where you are at this time, taking this session with me live, and my advice is that you replay it over and over and over. So, within about 20 or 30 minutes after the show is over, I upload it into my YouTube channel. And that way you get a chance to play with the information as much as you can. Now, also, we're doing this exercise like this because it's not just an exercise, it's a real thing, a real energetic movement. And the more that we get into this zone, the better we're going to be. Also, what you might want to realize is that you have an opportunity to influence your body, your mind, your spiritual self here on earth through this body, as well as everything else around you. So many of you, if you had an opportunity to participate in my other things that I did, which is shielding and putting energy up around you and making sure that energy is strong and bright. This is something you want to continue to do. With all the energy that's now running rampant, I suggest that you continue to raise your vibration and take it higher and higher and higher, and realize where you live becomes your sanctuary. Where you live is a place of peace, harmony, and happiness. No matter how small, how large it is, you must maintain peace, harmony, and happiness. So much so that when people enter your block or come into your driveway or walk up to your door, they start feeling a great deal of peace and healing vibration flowing from your residence. And this way, when people are going through things, their energy that they're going through kind of gets disintegrated. They're still there, but any negativity around them will be dissipated. If they're very angry people, it'll be disarmed. It may cause them to be a little bit confused, but that energy may implode on themselves instead of on you. And yes, sometimes you want to show how much love you can have in the world, but you need to also show that love with an armor of love, with an army of love, so that your energy becomes like a huge umbrella. And this is essential for your well being and for everyone else that's connected, right down to your four legged friends, your friends that have wings, your friends that crawl upon the earth and swim in waters, those that rise up out of the earth as plant life, those that sit on the earth as pebbles, rocks, stones, and crystals. We are here to be stewards and we are to raise this energy higher. Everything is talking to us, everything is seeking for us to seek it out and to bathe ourselves within their energy field and to communicate directly. And if we learn to communicate directly with these different energy forms, these different energy beings, we will realize we are greatly, how can I say it to you? Our lives are greatly blessed, greatly enhanced. We will realize there's more than just, getting beyond our five physical senses and our physical appearance. So I want you to be able to do this night. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, but I'm not a simple person, so meaning that I'm one that will throw a lot of things into the mix. So what we're going to do is a quick shield up. Those of you who know how to shield, go do it now. Those of you it's for your first time, I'm going to give you a shield that can't be tampered with. Okay, this shield cannot be tampered with. It is so designed that no one, even someone was looking into this that had devious means, they wouldn't be able to break it down or make it do whatever they wanted to do because it's a heavenly divine source. This is how I want you to do it, just for tonight. You know how you take a shower? I want you to see the faucet above your head, but as high as you can. And this faucet is high above your head, 6, 7 feet away, and there's nothing but solid light pouring out of it. Make this solid light as wide as your body. Make this solid light 4 times your height, 2 times the width of your body. And just know that it's already there in place. Receive it. Now, this light may appear to you as a white light or a golden light or a lavender light or a soft pink light or blue. Whatever comes in, allow it to be right now. I'm not going to tell you exactly how the color is going to be because Akhenaten says we must protect the light as it comes through. And I want you to feel the presence of the light swirling around you. He says to further protect your energy field, he wants you to see what appears to be like um, coins of light. And the coins of light start to be like smaller than a dime, half the size of a dime. And they're spinning around like this, and they're spinning on their side, as if you were to take a coin and flick it so it would like spin on its edge on the floor, on a smooth surface. He wants you to see it just like that. These coins of light are switching from half the size of a dime to twice the size of a dime, which is like a nickel. More particles of light, which are larger than a nickel, so they come up to look like a quarter. Actual 25-cent piece size. Know that now you have 3 levels of light around you. He says, let's give you a 50-cent piece light. Yeah, one that looks like a 50-cent coin, and then the one that looks like a dollar coin. So now you've got what is a dime size coin, nickel, quarter, 50 cents, dollar. And might as well give you one more because between the nickel and that, you got a penny, right? So you got 6 little forms, cylindrical and coin shape. It's just a symbol to use. So you got a penny is a penny, and then a nickel is 5, and then you got 10, that's 15. Then you jump to 25, that's 40 cents worth, right? Then you jump to 50, that's 90 cents. Then you jump to a dollar, that's $1.90, I think. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're moving the energy, and you see the energy begin to float around your body, and it'll be uh, amazing because it's just in your mind. Every time you focus on it, you see these little energy forms spinning around your body completely. What this energy is doing is sweeping out your auric field. So these little coin shaped objects are drawing in light. And what's going to happen is scooping up energy and deflecting it out. And is only drawing in that which is positive and turning anything that's negative, is scooping it up and pushing it out of your space. Now, what you also want to do, you want to be able to allow yourself to feel the presence. And as it's, well, somebody needs to get in. I want to make sure they get in here for the show. Okay, so what you want now is you want to see these little, I don't want to call them bullets, they're coins of light because they're flat, you see. And they're acting, one side is gathering energy and deflecting it out, and the other side is pulling energy in and boosting it up. Now, this energy is pulling in and is boosting itself up. It will continue to do that. It will continue to do that, and it will continue to do that. That's how Akhenaten wants you to do it for now. Now, also, you just want to know that there's nothing but light all around you. And as you're inhaling, it inhales and pulls in with you, and as you exhale, it expands itself back out. It inhales with you and expands itself back out. That means, so if you imagine yourself in a ball, in a sphere of light, it's like if you were taking a sponge ball and squeezing it in. Instead of having indentations where your fingers would be, all sides would be moving in the same way and then expanding back out the same way. But this time it expands in and then it just bounces out bigger, almost like twice the space than it originally was. So imagine that happening. And just as you begin to imagine that, I'm using that word imagine because that's a word that's going to pop up. The word image is going to pop up in our next exercise. Is that all of this is you? All of this is moving with you. All of this is harmonizing with you. All of this is coming from you. All of this is flowing through you. So it's already there. All this energy is there around you, above your head, beneath your chair, right, left, diagonally, you name it. It's already in motion and it's going to move in the required space or movement that it needs to move in. Excuse me. This energy is going to continue to flow. Now, we're going to practice seeing auras. So I'm brave. I'll be your target for tonight for a part of this exercise. Now, I couldn't show you the clear wall space because there's a lot of things behind that partition there. But if you look into the space that's like right here where you see the frame, right? The black frame, right about in that area right there. If you gaze right in there from the top of my shoulder, right about there, going in, you see, to that space. If you gaze there, I'm going to project the little energy field. And I'm doing it right now. And what I'm going to project, maybe you might see it on my face, which is going to be about 3, 4 inches, maybe 6 inches. And I'm about maybe 18 inches, a little less than 18. I'm about 18 to 20 inches from my screen. So I'm going to deposit some energy there and you might see it. And I want you to scan it. And you're taking notes right now. So as you take notes, what you're going to do is you just kind of write it down. You don't have to, I don't want you to put it in the chat room if you're in the chat room. Don't put it there. I just want you to write it down, and you can send it to me on Facebook later. What you saw me project, or if you know my direct mobile number, you could send it there. Or if you know my email address, which is iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com or at yahoo.com, you can send what you saw tonight. Now the energy is really, I mean, it's like fire here. Akhenaten is throwing down here, so he can't wait to get started. So this first segment, you might call it scanning, sensing, and seeing auras. Okay, three S's: scanning, sensing, and seeing auras. Okay, so I'm projecting a color right now, color ray. And if you look in that space that I pointed to earlier, or just in front of my face, you'll notice that there's a difference. And I'm just doing it gently so that I don't overwhelm myself either. And when you look at a person's aura, what you want to be able to do is you look at the space that's 3 or 4 inches around the body, because the energy field is not compacted on the body. The energy field is basically out in front of you, out in front of a person. And so when you see the energy out in front of a person, you'll notice that it's shifting, that it's changing. To give you an example, the next time you go out for a walk your dog or something, or the next time you're sitting like in a mall, I always give this example, and you watch people walking past you, especially if it's a place where you can sit out in the open. You want to watch people as they're moving back and forth, and if you gaze just right, you will see the energy field, the auric field, popped out more in the front. Or if they are, let's say, window gazing and you're looking at them from the rear, you'll notice you'll see a little wavy line around the body. Or if they're passing you, you'll see a trail of energy. You'll see their energy field first, and then you'll see the physical body come into it, and then you'll see a trail of energy, and that's their auric field. And we are all like that. When we're moving about, a field of energy is moving with us at the same time. If you're sensitive enough, you'll be able to see it around animals too. See, the interesting factor is animals have this huge volume of, of an auric field. So they pick up on your thought, they pick up on your scent, they pick up on the rhythm of your walk, and they'll meet you at the gate, meet you at the door, because they're feeling your energy long before you start focusing in on them. So those of you that have a dog or a cat, watch how the dog or cat is responding. You might open the door and find them right on the other side of the door. They knew you were coming. They're in your energy field. You're just unaware that they are in yours. So as we start to do this now, I've just kind of pulled the energy back a little bit. I'm going to relax and bring it out a little bit more. I want you to look right into that space, right in here. You see where the split is between the two frames. So go down a little further. Look right in there. Either you might see it there, or you're going to see it right across in here. Now, if I put my hand up, back of my hand up, there you'll see my skin tone. If I pull it back a little more, did you see a change? I pull a little closer. Do you see a change? Do you see a change? There's a slight change there of hue. And I'm just putting it out there so you can see it. Now, if you're with somebody and you're watching this show, you both should sit so at least 20 inches apart and you face each other. And what you want to do is look just within that 2 3 foot inch range around off the skin in front of the body, behind the body, off the face, off the head. And if you gaze just past the body, you'll see a little wavy line. And you see that wavy line going around the body. Now, here are some things that you should be aware of when you're doing this. If you are sensitive enough, you may feel it around your solar plexus area on your body. You might feel it around the throat chakra area. You might feel around the third eye. You might feel around your temples, the back of your head, too. Your whole body is going to give you a signal that you're tuning in. Even your hands can give you a signal that you're tuning in. You can kind of program yourself to say, okay, I'm going to see an aura. So if I'm seeing, let's say, a spirit in a woman's body, you choose which side of the body you want to feel that energy, and your body, like a thermometer, acts upon it. You want to see a spirit in the body of a male, you can program the other side of the body to do that. Or let's say you just want to understand what kind of energy is in front of you, and you may not see the color of that it's giving off, but you can attune yourself to the field of energy and sense if it's a peaceful form or a place of unrest or imbalance. It works either way. So what I want you to do is just pay attention. I'm going to do it again. I can see my face here, so I'm going to actually direct it to a specific spot on my in front of my face. And I want you to take your time and gaze at the screen and see if you see it. So as I'm placing this out there, I'm using the same color. I'm not wearing the color. I'm using a completely different color. That way you can see it. Just going to place it one more time. I'm going to put my hand up here too. I'll give you like a okay sign. I'll do it this way. No, you can't see it that way. So I'll just do it this way. Try to put my hand more on the side, touching. I don't know, you might see it this way if I tap. Yeah, that hand you can see it better, my right hand. The split second you can see it. Just tapping the space, my palm. Just might see it. Lift my hand up a little bit. I got enough light in here. If you look just right, you'll see it right on the pad of my thumb. Just a tad. I'll put my hand down. Now look at my face. It's changing. Just ever slightly. I have an Akhenaten that says give you two spots. So I'll tell you where one is. One is in the gap right here. This is why I purposely wore a dark t-shirt underneath. So I'm going to make sure the collar's back. I'll sit up a little higher. It's like on the base of my neck. Make sure you can see it. And the other location, so the area that you can look is from the base of my mouth, chin, neck, and right a little lower than the collar of the t-shirt. The other region is on the bridge of my nose or at the tip of my nose, going up to where my eyebrows kind of come in, like right here together. So giving you two ranges where you can detect it. Now, for those of you who have pendulums, say pendulums become a part of your work. Dowsing rods become a part of your scanning, sensing, and seeing auras. So if you have a pendulum, you could utilize your pendulum. I have an amethyst pendulum, and the pendulum is just an extension of yourself. So I'm going to make sure that I'm asking my body, can it release it right here? And I'm going to tap right here 3 times. And then I'm going to see if it's there for you. Now it's there energetically. It's not as big, but it's there. Just relax. Later on, as we go into the other basic exercise, you may eventually see it. Now I'm just going to touch here to the tip of my nose, here to the tip of my nose, and bridge. And I'm going to ask, is it there? And through the vibration of the pendulum, the swing north and south is huge. And it's getting ready to go into a clockwise motion. And so it's in these two zones. Eventually you're going to see it, and you can't stare at it. You can't like gaze hard. You have to relax. And the way you can also do it is allow yourself to look past my head, look past my neck, like kind of scan across my body, and you'll catch it come up. Okay, and I got a white, golden white light on the left side by my headset here. So I know that somebody out there is seeing this, picking up on it. Now, there are other ways when you want to, this is just sensing, allowing yourself to see it and then sense it. Usually, though, when you're looking at someone standing up and the wall is solid, see, this is black and white, so and then it's got some reflections of the light, so you may not actually pick it up right away. But when you're looking to see someone's aura, you always look to see the wavy or what we call smoky lines. And that energy is like radiating, not always right off the body, like not like you would see, let's say, rain on a hot, muggy day and the steam rises off the street. Not quite like that. What you'll see is the energy in front and behind the person together. This person is sitting in the field of energy. So it's not being pushed back by me. I'm not holding it off. And I'm not, pushing it forward. I'm just letting myself sit in the pool of energy so that you can see it. So as you scan, and as you get more into the scanning of the vibration of this, you begin to notice there are some changes. Now, sometimes when you do this, and here's another thing, you might have your own body might tickle a little bit, might twitch a little bit. The nerve might twitch in the legs, letting you know you're tuning in to the vibration. You might get a tickling sensation in your throat, on the top of your third eye, the back of your head, your temples. You might get an itching sensation around your eyes. This is all letting you know that you're processing energy, you see, and you know that something is there because your body is responding to it. The nerve system, the meridian energy fields are responding to it. This is how you know. Your whole solar plexus may respond to it. Soles of your feet respond to it. Now, as we're going into this, what I want you to also be aware of that when if you're close enough to somebody, you could always scan their auric field by simply taking your palms and let the person be in between your palms. So if the person is facing you, you're putting your hands out equal distance from their body. And then you're moving one hand, you should move one hand in at a time, kind of like this, kind of stroking back and forth and sensing through the palm of your hand and your fingers. And also then do it with the other hand, kind of going in and out, doing the same way, so that you can try to feel. And you go with the other hand and try to connect, and then go with the other hand. It's almost like a feeling of Tai Chi. You're kind of cupping the energy, scooping and putting your hand right into the field of energy. And if you do that enough times, if you practice that enough times, you will begin to see the energy. In other words, you'll be able to feel it and sense it, and then the feeling and the sensing begins to allow you to see what you're feeling and sensing. Now, you might internalize it, yes, and see it on the inside, see light shift, and then eventually pick it up on the outside and see it outside yourself. So, what I would like you to do over a period of time is to practice scanning. Now, you should also do this within the environment of your home. Scan your home. If you have plants inside of your house, you could have a ball because the plants feel your energy. If you got if you have someone in your home, let's say, have you ever been around people who are moody and depressed and they got plants? You notice the plants have no life. It's like the plants are curling up from the energy that the person is giving off. But when you have this strong, natural connection, loving connection with the plants kind of lean in your direction as if you're the sun. They can feel your chi, so they lean into the chi because you're giving off a strong presence and it's something that they're seeking. Also, sometimes you can tell if the plants need water, the soil, because you get the image of the plant like pulling on like the the moisture, so they will connect with you. So this is something you might want to consider. Is just seeing and understanding how energies can be. And as you begin to see and feel how energies can be, you will notice that all things start to flow for you. And as the energies begin to flow for you, you begin to receive the vibration. I mean, it's like unbelievable vibrational happenings that you're going to notice. And as this energy begins to move forward, you will see and feel the presence of light itself. And as you see and feel the presence of light itself, you will notice that everything is shifting around you. Everything. So, if you just now comfortably gaze back at the computer screen, as you gaze back at the computer screen, you'll notice that there's a slight shift. Face should look slightly different. The colorization of the aura coming off the body. So what I was projecting was a purple light or violet light, and you should see it a little bit. Now you can also place different types of energy out in front of you too. You can use different rays, like just not the rainbow, Western rainbow system. You can use Tibetan rainbow system, however you want to call it. You can project anything you want. The body will usually react to what is necessary or what it's picking up at that time. The body will begin to reflect that and throw that energy out that's already there in your auric field. So this is something that's very unique unto itself. So you want to kind of play with the energy, because as you play with the energy, you have a greater connection with the energy. This is highly important. Play with the energy, have a greater connection with the energy. It's like bouncing a ball. The more you bounce the ball, the better you get with the control of the bouncing of the ball. Then you can just use your fingertips rather than your whole hand, or just catch it with the palm of your hand, right? So it's the same thing when you're dealing with energy. Now, also, when you're seeing the a field of energy and you're scanning it, seeing it, and reading it. Reading it means just understanding what kind of energy, discernment, interpreting that energy. What does it feel like to you? Or what do you see within the field of energy around the person? If you really allow yourself to utilize this Scanning. Now you could use your hands, reach out, like I said, go around the person, right? Slowly go around the outline of the person's body, on the edge, and then the front, and then the back. You'll begin to see. You'll begin to see. You'll see the pocket of energy build up between your finger pads and your palm and the person's chest, or the back of the person. You'll be able to see this energy, and you'll be able to detect if it's balanced, or you'll detect how much of the energy is riding on one side as opposed to the other side. Is it all green and lavender and purple in one range and blues and yellows on the other, or this energy seems to be mixing? Now there's other ways in which people utilize scanning of auras. um, People that want to scan health uh, situations using the colorization in your auric field. Now it's interesting. Some people can interpret that as, okay, your liver's off, this is that, that's off. Yet you got high energy at the same time. You don't even feel that. So it's a matter of, I'm gonna call it a matter of preference, because everything that one person interprets is different to how someone else interprets it. So your energy fields can be radically different at any given point. You could put five people together plus a Qigong master in there. So you can put a pranic healing person, a Reiki person, a Qigong healer person, and then someone who's just reading auras, or auras for medical reasons, like a medical intuitive, and then somebody else. And I can guarantee you, all five of those people are going to read that body differently. Not everybody will come to the same conclusion. They might have one or two spots within the auric field that they agree to that could be heavy or feeling light, okay, strong or feeling weak, hot, moist, cold, and other people will pick up something totally different. And people who have good control over their auric field energy can cause something to be misread. And that's happened with me numerous times when I was 20 years younger. Having almost feeling like I was having a heart attack, then get to the hospital and the doctors can't find anything. And then I realized, oh, my energy fields are changing, so to a medical staff, it's going to read differently. You know, they might see me low blood pressure or low pulse rate, and low pulse rate lower than what an athlete has. So it's okay, this person, not a regular person, might get 72 beats a minute, and an athlete consistently all the time might be dropping down to about 70, 72, or going from 72 down to 60 something, 68. And then a person who meditates like myself, which I used to use a lot back then, come forth with a heartbeat rate going at about 50 beats. you know 50 beats per second. And then the person go, well, okay, why is that? And then find out, okay, back in those days I meditated a lot. I was able to, under a lot of pressured situations, keep that energy low enough so that I was almost not present. So these are things that you want to be able to do for yourself. Change your energy fields up just through deep breathing. Change your energy fields up through auras and aura scanning. Excuse me. So what we're going to do right now is, now that I got this part introduced to you, what I want to bring across is okay. Someone is not catching the show. Okay, now what do you want to be able to do now? I'm gonna sit back, and the energy is still flowing with me, coming down. You're gonna see it a little later. If I got a little closer, You don't really see it now because it's mixing with the regular light. But if I sit back just a tad, I got two strong lights here, and I took the shade caps off for a reason. If I sit back just enough, both lights hitting me, you're going to see a slight difference. So, what we're going to do right now is I want to shift this because everybody, this first part is essential how to scan, sense, and read auras. From now on out, you want to focus on scanning, seeing, and reading auras, meaning interpreting what you see. Now, your body is an intelligent force, and your body, as an intelligent force, will be able to kick that energy forward. Now, as it kicks it forward, your body will be able to kind of dip into it like a pool of water, putting your feet into water. And what's going to happen is you're going to see images that will pop up around the person in their auric field, or they might pop up between you and them because it's in your auric field because you're in touch with their energy field with your own energy field. So you might see it more with greater clarity in your own energy field as opposed to the person's energy field. Now, this happens a lot if you're someone that does massage, Reiki, Raffling, Joe Ray. That Joe Ray is sending energy to somebody. Reiki, same way you're a vessel for the energy to flow in and out. Those of you who do cranial work, you do foot reflexology, hand reflexology, you start paying attention to the energy fields that are around a person and you train yourself to see what you need to see. So here's the next level of what you're going to do now. We're going to go into connecting and communicating, what we call contacting your spirit guides. That's the next level. Now, the reason for that is because when you're connecting with your spirit guides, contacting them, communicating with them, they have their own level of energy fields, auric fields, and because they're coming in at a higher rate of vibration than you are on the physical plane, they will also adjust. What I mean by adjust, they'll fine tune the energy so that you pick it up a completely different way. Imagine your energy fields outside of you, and the being is huge. And this being sees you, but you're calling the being, and the being has to step down into your zone. So it may step into your zone where you get to see it. Let's say you're 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", and so the being will step itself in at about maybe twice that. Maybe you got the room for them to scrunch in there so you can see them. Or you are outside, which is even better, and now you see them scrunch in, and maybe they're around 36 feet, 40 feet tall, I'm talking about. And in proportion, you're seeing everything in proportion. So you have to really practice seeing auras so you can determine how that energy feels coming towards you when you're connecting. But your guides are brilliant guides. They don't bowl you over with the energy. They can look at you and tell what you can handle and what you cannot handle. But they will, if it is meant for you to continue along the way of connecting with your guides, then I'm not going to call it rules and regulations. There's just going to be some percentages that are going to go on that's going to allow you to start connecting with them. And what you want to do is definitely keep, actually log a journal of connecting with them because that's going to be highly important how you connect. So, what we're going to do, and again, this is a part that I don't need to hear from you unless you want to email it to me at iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com or yahoo.com. And what you want to be able to do is this. So let's say you have an angel. Everybody likes to connect with their guardian angel. Now, you might know the guardian angel's name, or you may not know the guardian angel's name. Usually, to them, you don't need to know their name all the time because there's so many of them that have names that are similar to other angelic names and so forth. If meant to be, they'll give it to you. But what is more important are the other symbols and vibrations and things that they want to give to you. So, what I want you to do right now is zero in on a particular guide that you want to begin to develop a conversation, a spiritual, magical, metaphysical, shamanic conversation with. The first thing you want to be able to do is you always keep your auric field up high. Again, it's like you're asking something that has, let's say, symbolically, 30,000 volts, and all you got is 1,000. The difference of 29,000 volts will just blow you out of your shoes, right? So you want to raise your energy up a little higher, so then as they see your energy raises up, they can step their energy down into your energy. And this way, it's sort of like, keep in mind, it's like, say you have a half a glass of water, and they're coming in and they're going to fill that up into a level that you could comfortably drink without spilling it out of the cup. So you want to be aware that you're always gradually boosting your energy. So you could do that through, food regimen, exercise regimen. Maybe it's sleeping longer, sleeping less, but getting the proper rest in. Then there's also changing your outlook, changing your habits, changing what you're expecting to be or not to be. We might say surrendering to the vibration, which doesn't mean give up who you are or who you think you are, but allowing yourself to be open so that you can accept the energy as it comes to you. Now, this is what you want to be able to do. And I always tell people this is important. Focus on one at a time. Don't say, "Well, I want to see what Archangel Michael's vibration is, and then I want to see what I want to see what Ice's energy is like." Just pick one, because if you pick one and you establish a fluid connection with that one acts as a filter for the next one that you're going to get in touch with. So what will happen is you have one as a filter that will allow you to bring others in place. And you start creating this balance around yourself. So, again, you don't have I'm not going to tell you which one to call upon. Many of you have maybe one or 16 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them. Just pick one. And I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. The name of the one that you have chosen right now, that you want to have this communication with. And you might want to write as clear as possible, because as we go through this, the energy might get so strong with some of you that you may not remember what you wrote, and then when you come out of the energy and tune into it later, you just might find a lot of scribble and you can't interpret. Now, there's such a thing as, automatic writing, where you can open yourself up and you just start writing without an awareness of what you're writing, and then when you're done, it makes sense. So we're not doing that right now. That's not a thing that I have an expertise in, so I won't go into that. But I just want you to pick one guide. This guide could be an angelic guide, it could be ascended master guide, it could be from any tradition that you follow, okay? Put that guide's name on a piece of paper. And you want like a 8.5 by 9, or what, 8.5 by 11 to legal size. Put it down, their name bold, print it out. You don't have to go into what their name means, just put it there. Okay? Now, what I want you to do, I want you to know that that particular guide, once you came up in your mind, with the guide's name and you wrote it down, it was like you getting on your cell phone and calling the guide, getting in your email, sending them an email. And of course, you wrote it down, you have an expectancy that you're going to connect with that guide, right? You have this expectancy. So, this is what you're now going to do because you're expecting to connect with the guide. After you wrote the guide's name down, the next thing that you should ask for is an image. Now, let's say for those of you who know a Pacific guide, you can use the image of that guide you know. So let's say you're following some Indian saints and things and gods and deities. If you know that you have a Pacific one, you can automatically get the picture and put that picture. You automatically know that's the image. But guess what? When you're dealing with those, they have various attributes, and there's some will give you all of the attributes that you are connected to, and some will just give you one or two. So you're asking for an image that is specific to you, meaning that when you think of this particular guide, the image that the most prominent image that you receive is like the first way that you're going to call upon that particular guide besides using their name. So I want you to say it this way: show me the image that connects me to you. Show me your image that connects me to you. Show me your image that you want me to use to connect with you. Now, those are the three different ways you can say it. So just kind of go within yourself. You can lower your eyes a little bit. Keep your mind blank. Keep yourself open. And just say, show me. When you say show me, your intention is very heartwarming. It's very humble. It's a lot of unconditional love energy. It's like, you love this guide and you'd love to have this contact. And you're very humble about it. Now, some of you might get a response right away. Some of you may not get a response right away. It might be a delayed reaction. So by the time we're done with this method, I'm not going to call it an exercise, but this method or technique, what's going to happen is the image may show itself later. So we'll ask one more time. This is our third time. Show me the image that connects me to you. So they're not giving you your image, they're giving you their image that you're going to use to connect with. Now, the minute you get the image, write it down underneath the name. Write down the image that you got. The image is like a picture. Usually, that picture may take on an image of nature or an outline of a form like a figure, or it might mean that they want you to the same image that you see them all the time. That's the way. If you see that, just write same image as picture. Okay, so that you know, okay, that's how they want you to call them, because then you're calling them directly. So now we breathe into that. Inhale, exhale through your mouth to just make a slight disconnection. Now, you're going to ask for a symbol. Now, this symbol is more connected to you. It's a symbol that you're going to use that's connected to you that represents them. Because the image, if you got an image, just the image of the way they look, then it would be a symbol that they're carrying. But if you got an image that was slightly different that showed any attributes that were connected to them, then what you would get as a symbol is something that you're going to use that's going to resonate with them. So they'll show that to you because they already know what the symbol is. You just haven't revealed it to yourself as of yet, you see. So now you begin to ask for that symbol, and you just use the same words. Show me. Get your emotions into it. Show me the symbol that connects me to you. And you may say that 3 times in yourself. Show me the symbol that connects me to you or you to me. And you may get a tingling sensation throughout your body, but you got to tune in to what the symbol is, and it will come up inside of you. Now you begin to see it and do the best of your ability to draw it. Draw it underneath the image that you got, which is underneath the name. Draw it as clear as you can. You might sketch it. Later you could redefine it and sketch it bolder to make it very accurate. But right now, just, and if you're not sure what it is, you might write a notation. Maybe you got a line that went up and down. So that could be a wave line like in electronics, or it could might mean, well, that's mountain range. Just write down what you think that symbol is, because that will help you later. As you're writing down the image and now you went to the symbol, know that the symbol is sort of like a code. See, the image is a universal code, but the symbol you got can be like a universal code, but it's a code between you and them. Okay? Now, beyond that, there's just two other small areas that you're going to want. And some people get them at that moment or they don't receive them, but that doesn't mean that they don't have these two other qualities. Now, what you're going to ask for is a color. Now, if I say a specific color, that might hinder you a little bit. So you might say, show me the color or colors that I may use to connect with you. Show me the color or colors that I may use to connect with you. You remember, all of these parts of your way of just dialing up a connection with them, with your guides. Say it a third time. You only need to say it 3 times, you see. Show me the color or colors that will connect me with you. Now, what will happen is, if you said it 3 times with conviction, with feeling, with like humbleness in it, with unconditional love, feeling of compassion, they will release the color to you. Now you should look up what the color could mean. Let's say you may have gotten an azurite blue, so you might want to look up what is an azurite, what does it do, what does that blue shade do for you. You might get let's say a black shade or black itself. You want to see what's all the ramifications of the color black, because that's powerful, fixed energy. It might even tell you what planet. See, so you got a color in there. The color will connect you to a planet. The color can connect you to an herbal plant. You see, the color can connect you to a gemstone. So look at all these other different tools that you're going to get that's going to allow you to communicate with this particular guide. And you're only focusing on one right now. So now what you should have is a picture or image of them. They may give you a more complex image or more simplified image. Then you require that they give you a symbol. The symbol is a code. So think of it like when you're using your cell phone, you're typing in numbers, right? But each letter, what, has a number. It's like the old-fashioned telephone, right? Old-fashioned dial-up ring telephones. Each number corresponded to 3 letters, right? So now you look on the cell phone, you don't necessarily always see that. You just see the digits 1 through 9 plus a pound, right? Or you go 1 through 0 plus the pound. So the keyboard is like 12, right? Or something like that. So it allows you to go see that. Now, then you ask for the color or colors. The last thing that you're going to ask for is a sound. Now, those of you who are clairaudient, you might get a sound right away. Those of you who are clairvoyant, you got hit with the image, a picture, and a color all at the same time. So you really exercise that third eye to see. But or you're clairsentient just to feel what it would be. So now you ask for the sound. Here's the sound. The sound could be a melodic tone. You have to be open for that. Or it could mean a dissident cone. A dissident cone would be like if you knew keyboards, you could go the white keys, whole tones, the black keys are the pentatonic scale, but then you can get a sound in between the two. That doesn't mean it's an off sound, it just means that's the way that particular guide or entity is going to communicate with you. Now, often there will be other tones that will come up later, just like other colors, other symbols, other images come up later. The whole idea is to keep reviewing this over and over till you get a good feeling. Well, a good feeling means a good connection. So now, let's say you know what the guide's name is. Automatically, you flash the image. So usually you're going to say the name and flash the image so that you know that the guide is there. But then you get into saying the name of the guide, feeling that guide's presence, seeing the image that went along with the guide, uh, putting out the symbol that went along with the guide that you received as communication symbol, then putting the color into it. So you have the name of the guide, the image that comes across to represent the guide. You got the codified symbol that's for the guide between you and the guide, which can change because the guide, as you go along, it may be simplified the first time, it may be more complex the next time, but the root of the symbol is there. Then you ask for a color or colors, and then you took a sound. Five elements that you asked for. Five distinctive elements that you asked for to give you what you need. Once you can replay that exercise, that technique over and over and over with that one particular guide, and you got some responses like 2 out of 3, or 3 out of, you know, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, and so forth, or all of them at the same time with ease. Write that down and make sure you maintain that. Then I would suggest that you pick another guide and you do the same thing. So let's pick another guide. Again, you don't have to tell me what the guide is. I'm just telling you how to connect, okay? So you're putting yourself out there, and now you're allowing yourself to connect with the guide. Now, as you do this, and you're finding yourself connecting with the guide, now what you're doing next is the same thing. It should be a little easier now. Whatever the guide is that you're seeking to connect with, say, show me the image that represents you now. Show me the image. You see, because you just went through the other part. Show me what represents you to me. Now you just go direct because you just open yourself up. See, so you go show me the image. The guide will pop an image to you in less than 3 seconds or so, less than 4 or 5. The minute you get the image, start to write it down. Because if you wait a little too long, it escapes you. Just write it down or draw the image. Make a picture as close as you can to the image. The image is like an encapsulated form. Because out of the image now comes the symbol. You ask, show me the symbol. So see what I'm getting at? You wrote down the name of the guide, and out of the name of the guide came the image that represented the guide, which has all the attributes, everything you need to know. And now you say, show me a symbol that connects me to this image that connects me to you, you see. And the minute you got the symbol, you write it down. Draw it to your best of your ability. And I would suggest the minute you got it, take a deep breath, exhale it out, and then go in and say, show me the color or colors that I can use to connect with you or I can use to recognize you. Let it come through. Now, remember, I said you can ask for a sound. In each one of these stages, these are five different stages. You ask, you know, if you already know the name, that stage one is already taken care of. That particular guy might have more than one name for you, and you will discover that in your reading up of the name. Then there's the image that grew up out of the name that attached the two together. See, it's like a cord, sort of like a lifesaver's cord, around the waist. Then you went to the symbol because you needed to know the symbol. The symbol is a shortcut to the image, which is a shortcut to the name. Then you'd ask for the color or colors. Then you ask for the sound. Now sometimes people don't get a sound right away. That's kind of that's kind of removed. That's only because the guide is figuring that that might be not necessarily confusing, could be overwhelming for you. So then the the color might stand out more. Sometimes some people get have the name, they get the image, they get the sound, but they don't get any color. So guess what? If you got an image, see if the image you got had colors in it. The colors that are in that image are what you could use. Look for a symbol within the image. If you didn't get a symbol, look for a symbol within the image. And you may have saw a symbol, didn't realize that it was sitting there for you. So then all you have left is the sound. Now the reason why we ask for sound, because not only is this the sound emanating that has a connection, a distinctive connection, even a step further, sound means you're asking for the guide to talk to you. That's why you're asking for a sound. You're asking for the guide to talk to you, have a conversation, start communicating with you. Now, people might say, Brother Francis, if I'm going to do this, how do I know that the guide is actually there? When you are calling somebody on your cell phone or your through your iPad or your regular house phone, you don't even know if the person's going to pick up, but you trust that they will. And if they don't pick up, what do you assume to do? You leave a message. So what do you think the messages are that you're leaving? The message is you thought in your mind, I'm going to ring up the deity to connect with the deity. Here are the different ranges of messages. An image, you flashed an image to the deity or spirit guide, whomever it is. You flash your symbol that they gave you. That's another way of leaving a message that you're seeking to have a response, right? So we went from name to connect. You said the name, but now you need to put the image out. And along with the image, you need to put the symbol out. Along with the symbol, you need to put the color out if you got a color from them. Along with the color, you need to put a sound out there. Okay, so now you got four ways to connect with that one name. Four ways. You got four ways to do what? Leave a message. You already used acoustic sound in your mind and heart by thinking of the name, right? Then, right after the name, the image automatically came. After the image, a symbol automatically popped up, you see. And the symbol may have changed over a period of time because that means you're getting a more pronounced connection, a more pronounced dance with them. Okay? So now you went to the symbol and now you got a color that grew into it. And may not realize that maybe the color that's connected, the color they've been telling you, maybe you wear it every day. Then comes the last thing, the sound. Again, it could be a melodic tone or a tone that's just slightly dissonant, as they say. It might be a tone in between a sharp and a flat that you can't even detect what it is, but it is there. 1 degree off from being perfect. So this is the way that you're going to find yourself connecting with your guides. This is highly important. So you got two methods that you were given. One is as you're uh, realizing that you got an image, a symbol, a color, and a sound. Now take the previous part of this program and do what? Scan. Use your dowsing rods. Use your pendulum. Scan. Use your hand. Scan to see if the guide is there around you. The other way of the sound is to go into the clairaudient box side of you because you might hear the tone of their voice. You might hear other things like a whistling tone or a sound or a gong. You might feel a tingling sensation. All these things you need to jot down because this is the way that you begin to connect. You might get another symbol a few days later or a few weeks later or a few months later. Don't erase the symbol that you got before. Don't cross it out. Keep that there because it's giving you what? This Rolodex of symbols and colors and sounds. Again, we may throw you some gemstones that are connected to some candle vibrations, some herbs, some oils, incense. All these things are going to give you ways in which to connect. And it works. You, though, have to open yourself up to it, to what? The possibilities that you are making this connection, whether it's a highly pronounced connection or very subtle connection. But you have to be aware to open yourself up to receive it. That's what I want you to know. Open up to receive it. All right. So what I want you to do is if you have any questions you want to share with me your experiences, we're not going to leave them here because this is open to full public. When people come back here checking, they don't need to see all your business. So private message me on Facebook if you are friends with me on Facebook, or if you haven't been yet, do so. Send me an email at iam.circleofgrace1 at yahoo.com, yahoo.com, or Circle of Grace 1, iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. And just say you saw tonight's show on November the 17th at Circle of Grace 1 with myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey here at Ustream. And you desire to share this to see if you had it right. Okay, and later on next year I'm going to actually put out a PDF class. So I just gave you, let's say, 101 101 of a 101 of a 101. Gave you a real good variation of how to scan, read, and sense auras. But I'm actually going to already have a PDF style set up. I'm going to revise it a little more. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you could scan anything, really right down to a building. People should know how to do that too. Scan buildings, roadways. Do what the Aboriginal ancestors that are connected to you did. They scanned everything. It was easy because they did it from the time they hit the planet. Also, then how to connect and communicate. See, this is not just connect and contact. This is also communicating. When you're using symbols, using their name, you're using symbols, you're using the images, you're using colors and sounds, which then take you in to crystals and herbs and oils. You're setting up a communication network. The more that you practice and put it into motion, practice means just not being repetitive. Practice means you're making it practical and down to earth for yourself. So what's happening is you're putting it into motion more than enough times so that you could what? Feel the presence. That's what you want to do. You want to put it more in relationship to yourself, and this way you could really flow with the energy of this. And also what you want to do is you want to know that the energy can begin to flow. That's what you want. You want to get an energy flow going back and forth between the spirit guides, angel guides, ascended master guides, and all other kind of guides. This will also get you into dealing with plant life energy, the Deva Kingdom energy, all kind of energies, the energies of the elementals. This will take you into that as well. Same technique, same method will get you the same information. So I want you to know I'm going to put this later in a PDF next year. I'm not going to do it now. I wanted to have these things out by this month, but it wasn't meant to be. I've got like 5 or 6 more I'm putting together. But it's all dealing with energy. I've got one next year that I've taught numerous times, hundreds of classes, and it deals with palmistry, but palmistry in a completely different way. And you're going to find a lot of joy in these things, and it's really designed to heighten your awareness. So I want to thank you for contacting me. If I'm on Skype as Brother Francis Revels-Bey, Revels dash capital Bey, first name Francis with an I and a C in there. I'm on Skype. My Skype phone number is 505-349-4722. My Skype phone number is 505-349-4722. I have a prayer and decree request line, and that is, and I used to do some I see and decree CD audios, which had some prayers and affirmations and decrees and flat out spirit message in there for you. And I might go back and do that. I'm considering. When I did it, I think I had them out there for like $22, $33, but it really kind of worked and connected with people. But we'll see. But if you want to call that other number that gives you a 2 minute meditational style decree, all you got to do is call 505-717-4722. So 505-717-4722. If you want to hear a meditational style of affirmative prayer and decree rolled into one, it lasts for 2 minutes. Then you leave me your 10-digit phone number. Kindly give me your first and last name and the best time to reach you. I usually make most of my contact nowadays between a Monday through a Friday. This Friday, I'm going to be doing a big meditation, so I'm not going to be around answering any phones after about 2 p.m. my time, Mountain Time. I get ready. I need about 4 hours to charge up for it. But I suggest that you can reach me later this weekend, like after 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday as well as this Sunday. So I'll be around. I won't be around next week because next week is when families come together, most of us. And so I'll be away. So the next time I'll be on broadcast here with Ustream with Circle Grace One with myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, will be on Thursday, December the 1st. And those of you who listen to my Blog Talk radio show channel, The Age of Remembrance, I will be there on November the 30th on Blog Talk Radio on my program. So I'm taking off next week. Well deserved rest. So I want to thank you. I don't know if I'll put it on any pre-shows or what you should do. If you want to listen to the Blog Talk shows, go there. Go to www.blogtalkradio.com/, circle dash of dash grace dash one, and you'll come to my channel, The Age of Remembrance, and just click on the shows and listen to them. They're there for about a month of time for each show, and then they get evaporated. So if you want to start downloading, download the shows before I start selling them. Okay. Then what you want to do is go to this channel here and the shows last here 1 month. So you caught it live today. You got 29 more days before it's out of the system. We only keep 7 in queue, the most recent. So what you should do, within about an hour's time, I'm going to upload this particular show to my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube about an hour from now, or 2 hours from now, or tomorrow, you'll go to www.youtube.com/user, user, /Circle of Grace 1, but this time no dashes in between. Just plain, like one word, capital C, Circle, OF, capital GRACE 1, right after it. And that'll put you in my YouTube channel, or if you can just type in Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, you ought to see it, or Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey, bam, it takes you to the channel. Listen and watch the show. All right, I'm going to sign off. I want to thank you for being supportive, those of you who watch the show, quote unquote. I'm not going to use that word religiously. I just used it. But on a schedule, thank you for being supportive. Thank you for sharing it with your friends and your family members. Thank you for reviewing it as many times as you want. Feel free to do that. If you have any questions, just email me and I'll simply answer your questions for you. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you right here on December the 1st, which is a Thursday. And if you go to Blog Talk Radio, I'll be there on November the 30th, same week, on a Wednesday. All right, y'all. Take care. I love you. Thank you so much. And as Akhenaten says, my grace is your grace, or our grace is your grace. See you then.